All right, let's talk about something that might sound a little counterintuitive. We're diving into a business model that, on the surface, isn't flashy or exciting. In fact, it's intentionally boring. But here's the catch: it can be insanely profitable. So, you ready to see how this whole thing works? And to kick things off, just look at this quote. My business is boring, but makes me $252,000 a month. I mean, come on, that's over $250,000. This right here just shatters that myth that you need some kind of genius revolutionary idea to make it big. Turns out, the real secret isn't about inventing something new, it's all about how you execute. Okay, this really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the cool ideas. You know, the ones that get all the buzz, the ones that go viral. But look at the reality: high competition, high risk, and a lot of flash with maybe not so much cash. Then you look at the other side, the boring businesses. Less competition, consistent money coming in, higher profit, and way more freedom. It's really a choice between chasing a fleeting viral moment and building something solid, something real. So what is this philosophy? What's the secret sauce here? Well, the crazy part is it's not some super secret, complicated strategy. It's actually a really simple model that some of the biggest companies on the planet use every single day. Let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on. And here it is. It's called the middleman model, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Your job is not to create something new out of thin air. No. Your job is to find something that already exists, a product, a service, and connect it to people who already want it. You're the bridge. You connect the supply with the demand, and for making that connection happen, you get a piece of the action. Simple as that.
Think about it. When Amazon first started, did Jeff Bezos sit down and write books? Of course not. He just built a massive online store that connected people who wanted to read books with the companies that published them. That's it. He was the ultimate middleman. And, well, look what happened.
And it doesn't stop there. What about Uber? One of the biggest transportation companies in the world, and they don't own a single car. Not one. All they own is the app, the connection between you, when you need a ride, and a driver who's nearby. It's the middleman model in its purest form. Same story with Airbnb, a global hospitality giant that doesn't own any hotels. They just connect travelers with people who have a spare room or an empty house. So you've got Amazon, Uber, Airbnb, absolute titans of industry, and they're all built on this exact same boring idea of just being the connector. Okay, so the model is powerful. We get it. But how do you actually do this? Where do you even start? Well, step one is all about finding the problem. And this is a huge mindset shift. Your job isn't to sell stuff. It's to solve problems. And this is so important because it flips the whole process on its head. You don't start with a product idea, you start with a market. And here are the three things you're looking for. First, a community of people who actually have money to spend. Second, a problem that they are actively, and I mean right now, trying to solve. And third, you need to find existing products that actually work. If you can check all three of these boxes, you found a winner. So how do you find that market? Here's a simple three-step plan. First, you're going to turn your social media feed into your own personal research assistant. Start clicking on and engaging with product ads. Teach the algorithm what you're looking for. Second, and this is key, when you see those ads, dive into the comments, but don't just read the comments to the brand. Look for people talking to each other. That's your gold mine. That's a real community. And finally, step three, you verify. Go to the Facebook ad library, look up the brand, and see if they've been running the same ads for weeks or even months. If they are, that's your proof. It means the ads are working and the business is making money. All right, so you found your problem, you found your market. Now it's time for step two, building the actual store. And here's where a lot of people get stuck. The main goal here is not perfection. You have to fight that urge. The goal is speed and getting something functional up and running, because the most important stuff is actually happening behind the curtain. This is the principle you need to live by at this stage. Proof of concept is way more important than perfection. All you're trying to do is prove that people will actually pull out their wallets and buy this thing. That's it. You can make it pretty later after you've proven it actually works as a business. And this is what I mean by behind the scenes. Let's talk fulfillment. The old school way, drop shipping from a site like AliExpress, is just a nightmare. You get terrible profit margins, shipping takes 3 weeks or more, and you have zero support. The modern optimized way is direct sourcing. You get way better prices, shipping is down to 5 to 8 days, and you get a dedicated person, an agent, to handle problems for you. This isn't just a small upgrade. This is a massive competitive advantage. Okay, your store is built, your fulfillment is dialed in and ready to go. Now for the final, and let's be honest, the most important piece of the puzzle, getting customers. And the secret here isn't some fancy, complicated marketing funnel. It's actually much simpler. It's all about speaking their language, not yours.
I want you to really think about this for a second. When your potential customers are talking about the problem you solve, what words are they actually using? I'm not talking about the polished marketing buzzwords. I mean the real, raw, honest words they'd use when complaining to a friend. Here's a perfect example. A company sells an ergonomic baby carrier. That's marketing speak. But what does the customer actually say? They say, "My back is killing me." See the difference? One is a feature, the other is a feeling. When your marketing uses the customer's language, it doesn't feel like an ad anymore. It feels like you understand them, and that connection is everything. So, how do you actually create ads that speak this language? Well, you've got two main options. Option one is the quick and dirty test. You can just use existing content from your supplier to see if people even want the product. It's fast, but you'll want to switch to original content once you know it works. Option two, which is highly recommended, is to work with real user-generated content creators. Find people who are already in your niche, who your customers already trust, and pay them to make content for you. It's authentic, it's believable, and it just works. And this brings us to the final piece. And honestly, this might be the most powerful part of this whole strategy. It's what we call the compounding advantage. This isn't about finding a hot product that dies in 3 months. This is about building a real business that actually gets easier and stronger over time. See, every time you make a sale, you're not just getting money. You're building assets, you're collecting customer data and earning their trust. You're building rock-solid relationships with your suppliers. You're creating a brand people recognize. You're developing systems that work over and over again. And maybe most important of all, you're gaining knowledge about your market that no one else has. These are the things that a competitor can't just come in and steal from you. So while everybody else is jumping from one shiny object to the next, chasing trends and burning out, you're in the background quietly building a real, sustainable asset, something that doesn't just survive, but actually gets stronger and more valuable every single month. So here's the bottom line. This method isn't theory, it's proven. It works for the Amazons of the world, and it works for people just starting out. The model is sound, the path is clear. So the only real question left is, will you?